Good morning, everyone. Good evening in the USA. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. We'll see who jumps on here in a minute. I am Nancy Hetker, an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In Melbourne, Australia. Please excuse the frog in my throat. I've been fighting a cold the last couple days. Hi, Nikki. I feel good. My voice just sounds creaky, but that's okay. So, let's see who else joins us here, Nikki, for a minute. Looks like it's still hot there in Scottsdale. We're starting to feel like spring is around the corner here. We're getting some sunny days. It's a little warmer, not really less windy. Bit less rain the last few days. And the days are longer. That's been a good thing. Yeah, give it another 30 seconds to a minute. I see Nikki's here. I'm here. Hi, Gladys. How's the weather in Michigan? We've just been chatting about the weather here. It's starting to look like spring here, which is a good thing. Yeah. So I guess I'm going to get started here. I decided today we would spend a little time looking at monotone card making. Tend to make a lot of cards that are a lot of different colors, or 3, 4 colors. But I think so. Monotone to me is a neutral, like Whisper White or Very Vanilla, that you can stamp on, do stuff with, and maybe one other color or color tone. So here's one that I made yesterday to sort of illustrate that in its most stark form. I'm realizing my live play is not keeping up with me here. Here we go. There we go. So this one, let me see if I can get this to focus a little better here. There we go. That's better. So this one is Whisper White, and I used gray granite, and I'm not quite sure why I grabbed the gray granite instead of the smoky slate. I think it works fine. I might have preferred the smoky slate. It's a minor thing. But these dandelion type puffs come from the framelits that are in the Sia Silhouette suite, and the word does too. But so these are I die cut 3 out of the Whisper White thick and 1 out of the gray granite, and stacked them up. And that's true for the word and each of these. That's why I didn't do this on camera. We would have been here forever for over an hour doing just that. And then I think you can see, there's I embossed the Whisper White panel there with the Scripty 3D embossing folder, and I just added a knot of the metallic edge ribbon in silver. But I think that makes kind of a neat wedding card. So that's a very stark isn't really the right word, but somehow I like the white on white, and but the little bit of color neutral just to set it off there. Anyhow, that's one, and then I've got 2 other ideas that I've prepped for us to make together. And this one, I'm changing up a card I received from Kylie, my upline. I'm using different stamps and a different monotone color. I'm using Seaside Spray and Whisper White. I really like this very light, almost gray blue. I say as I can't get the pad open. There we go. And I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is images from the First Frost stamp set, which debuted in the holiday catalog last year, and I'm really glad it carried over because it's got some nice images that I haven't played with very much. I'm gonna put that there. Hi, Roseanne. And try this one. Oh, and I already see a problem. So I'm going to turn it over and try again here. Maybe we'll start with the sentiment, and then I know I get my positioning okay. Yeah, all kinds of problems going on today. Sorry, as I said before, I have been battling a little bit of a cold this week. I've mostly beaten it, but my voice sounds hoarse. So there we go. And I'm going to add in one of these teasels, I think, here. Yeah, let's leave it at that for now. So that's going to layer on there. And then sorry, move some stuff out of the way. We're going to bring in the Big Shot here. Because I'm going to do some embossing, just like I did on my card on my blog yesterday. I am going to ink up this side of the embossing folder, and hopefully it will work nicely here. And let's get ink where I don't want it. Sorry, this is a little awkward positioning here, but that should be good. And I've got a piece of Seaside Spray that I'm going to lay on there. And then, I don't know if you guys have played with this new blue acrylic plate that works with the new 3D embossing folders, but it works really well. Let's see how that turned out. I'm going to try adding a little more ink, I think. See if I can keep it from... Sorry, you guys, I'm going to move the Big Shot off of here. You don't need to see the actual Big Shot. But can you see it? I can see the ink pad on there, and I don't really want to. So I'm going to see what happens if I try re-inking this more evenly now that I don't have the big shot in the way. Let's see if we can run that back through again. Goes. I like the new embossing plate with these 3Ds. It doesn't work with the old dynamic ones. It just works with the new version. Let's see how that came out. Yeah, that's more what I wanted. Okay, so there we go. We've got Seaside Spray ink on the Seaside Spray panel, and we've got a Seaside Spray card base. We're just gonna layer here. So let's get started. Sorry, I'm having to concentrate a lot on getting things straight here, apparently. And this should have just a little, ooh, that's really tight. I wanted it to be a little less tight, but it'll work. Yep, there's my misstamping at the beginning. 2 sides to every piece of paper. And we'll put that one on there. And I'm going to grab some dimensionals. Sorry, bumped the camera. And pop that right there. There. What do you think? Hey, Joyce. Good to see you. So I'm going to grab the card that I was casing. So this is one I got in the mail. You can see, very similar idea. I don't have that stamp set, so I just changed it up. And you can see my proportions are a little bit different from Kylie's, but that's okay. So that's one of the things that I like. You can take a card idea and make it your own. So there's that one. And what's next? Ah, yes. Whoops. Stamps going everywhere. Different pieces. So this one, I'm back to my old friend Daisy Lane. I think this set is really versatile. But for this one, we're sticking with monotone, but we're doing 2 different shades of the same tone. Yeah, I don't. Oh, yeah, I need to go to art school, I guess. Correct me if I, if you know what I'm trying to say and can say it correctly. So I went ahead and I made two of the medium daisies. Well, I actually made four of the medium daisies and put them together to make one flower out of Highland Heather. And then I did one out of Gorgeous Grape. So I'm going to set those aside for later. And what did I do with my piece of Whisper White? Here we go. Sorry, I'm feeling a little discombobulated here this morning. There we go. Okay, so with Highland Heather, I'm going to stamp some of these leaves from this set. And I'm going to stamp full strength, and then I'm going to stamp off again. So I get, again, two different tones of the same shade. And again. And I think again. Here we go. And in the Gorgeous Grape, I'm going to add Sentiment. We'll use the Smile out of that kit, or the stamp set. I just like how clean that script is. Yeah, that embossing folder, it just adds so much, I think. The one thing I'm not, well, if you look in the holiday catalog, there's one called Hammered Metal, and its dimples, if you will, are smaller and maybe more irregular. They're not set in that mosaic type pattern. But I wish it weren't quite so similar. I have to decide if I'm going to get it and this one. Okay, that's a little too tight. We're going to do some trimming here. I think I was getting tired when I did my cutting last night. Just snip a little bit off there. That's better. So the idea is going to be to layer up like that. Yeah, it's kind of a purple day, isn't it? You saw my purple shirt there. Do you guys have any questions about anything in either of the catalogs? Have you all seen the holiday catalog now? It goes live next week. Yay! I've just ordered some more stuff from it. Hello? There we go. And then I think we'll add these on kind of like that. I think I'm going to curl some petals here just real fast. You can use your bone folder to do this, but I'm just doing quick and dirty here, just a little bit. Just don't pull your petals off. You can use glue dots to do these, or I find just a dot of glue on the back works just fine. And then I thought to finish this off, we've got these really cool glimmer enamel dots. I take a pick tool here. If not now, when? Come here. You haven't seen the holiday catalog. I think your demonstrator is live on here with us and needs to take care of that. There. What do you think? So that's monotone because it's all the same related color as far as I'm concerned. What do you think? Yeah, so I know I've said this many times before, but one of the things that I really like about Stampin' Up! Is that they do these tones of the same, I really call them tones of the same color, or shades of the same color, that you can coordinate really, really well. And hang on with me, I'm going to grab a couple of examples. Sorry I didn't pull them earlier. Okay, here's just a couple to show you. So here's Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana, and Pool Party. And either of these work really well together. But even all three of them together work well together. And that's just, again, they're the same color family, just different tones or different shades of the same tone. I don't know. Your son's home. Okay. Is that the pilot, Nikki? So there's that. And then this one, so this is Cajun Craze. This is the in color terracotta tile. And this is Calypso Coral, which they do work really, really well together. And I think this would be really good for a masculine card. I just haven't quite figured it all out, what I would do with this. But I like that. I think that's very rich. And then, oh, the other one, this one is less obvious right off the bat. So this one is Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mambo. And it doesn't, I mean, it's much more, it's not a very subtle tone change, but in fact, um, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you something. I was playing with pigment sprinkles on Sunday, getting ready for my pigment sprinkles class on September 7th, and so I did a wash. This was really the Melon Mambo pigment sprinkles, and you can see it's pretty dark there. And there may have been a little bit of yellow on my brush, but not really much, if any. And then I have gone over this with the gold, remember our retired gold Wink of Stella pen? So if you see some sparkle or a little bit of goldy stuff, that's what that is. But it really kind of comes out reading a lot of Flirty Flamingo. If you see that. But if you put it on a Melon Mambo card base, it still works. Had I punched out these daisies with more forethought, I would mount this onto here and use it as a card, but I didn't, and it's not so good looking, so I probably won't. But I will show you after I do my pigment sprinkles class. I will be showing you on the blog what I did make out of the punched out daisies here. So but it's fun. It's fun to get in and play with the color and see what you come up with. And with things like the pigment sprinkles, I often have an idea, but I wait to finalize what my base card is going to be and what colors I'm doing with it till it dries and I see how it actually turned out, because sometimes it works better with it may say it's Melon Mambo, but in fact you think it looks better on Flirty Flamingo. Anyhow, that's really what I've got today for you. If you have questions of anything, I'm happy to answer them. I wasn't quite sure how long all of that was going to take, and sometimes I run really long, so this one is short. Anything else? Questions? I don't think anyone is watching live from Australia, but if you're watching on replay and you need a demonstrator, I'm happy to be a demonstrator. If sorry, I just hit the wrong thing on my end. Let me get back to where I need to be on my monitor. If you're in the Melbourne area, I've got a bunch of events coming up, including on World Cardmaking Day on the 5th of October. The other thing I did yesterday was I've planned out the first of many cards that we'll be making that day that we'll be donating to the Royal Children's Hospital Foundation to help them raise money for their causes. And and then I have a whole bunch of holiday classes scheduled, and I just ordered some stuff from the holiday catalog, like I said, for that. And that's what I got for you. So thanks for tuning in. See me back again next week. I've posted the event for the next year, so you can go ahead and mark going, and I think you'll get reminders that way too. Sorry, I let the ball drop on that for several weeks here, but I now have them scheduled out on the Facebook page, And yeah, you can always catch replay. I'll let y'all know when the replay goes up, and the links if you've missed the live. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.